92.3 Now.
We saw the thing. That was the first time I've ever been like just pissed that I was in the studio doing the show when something was happening in Times Square. It was today when you hit the button and your face and your music video for Applause were all over Times Square in your hometown. How awesome was that feeling?
It was so surreal and crazy, and I have been gone for a while from radio, and I've been on tour around the world.
Were you touring? You recovered?
Yeah, I was recovering from my surgery, and I didn't really know if anyone would show up.
Of course.
Yeah, there were barely any people.
Well, you just never really know, and I don't rest on my laurels as a performer or musician, so I didn't really know what to expect. But when we pulled into Times Square and I saw all those people, I had goosebumps, and I'm just so grateful to the fans, and seeing the video on the Jumbotron just made me so excited. I really love this video, and I'm so happy that the fans got to see it.
Well, you might not have actually even seen the feed of Good Morning America. Like, you might not have watched your DVR yet, but people are crying and they're like loving it. And afterward, everyone with that very distinct guy. Yeah, of course they were.
So sweet.
Your fans are like the most loyal fans that I see in music today.
They're very loyal, and they're very passionate about me, and we're into the same things, and that's why it works. And that's what I was holding my breath about today was, this video is very me, and it is all the things that I'm into, that I'm interested in. And when we created it, we spent a lot of time fine-tuning the imagery to take it to a place that really turns me on artistically. And so when I heard them all cheering, I knew it turned them on too, and it made me feel good.
When you say the things that you're into, you're talking fashion is obviously one of those things,
Yeah.
and always revolutionizing something. What other specific interests?
Well, this video in particular, there's a lot of performance art references. There's a lot of artistic references with the Seashell Girl.
Yeah.
I'm real life Botticelli in motion. The sort of, I call it an Edie Sedgwick swan, which is...
That is the creepiest part of the video. I was like nauseous watching that because trying to fathom your head on a black swan body.
Yeah.
I don't know why it weirded me out.
For me, it's such a beautiful scene because this fur egg opens to reveal what's meant to be a swan, but we chose the hair and the makeup to be more evocative of an ugly duckling. By way of Warhol and Velvet Underground. So there's a lot of inspirations in the video, but once we took them further and further and further, by the time we were done, it didn't look like any of those references at all. It just became something new.
And it built, the whole time it builds, and then at the end there's such energy to it, and I can only imagine in Times Square with, I don't know how many people, there were hundreds of thousands of people. It felt like New Year's Eve in Times Square.
It was wonderful, and the I just remember when the purple scene, it was actually a pink laser. That they just found the strand for the pink laser. I'm kind of a geek. But I remember we were getting ready to shoot the video. I said, we have to have the pink laser. It's brand new. Nobody's used it. I have to be the first. So we put me in this tunnel, and we shone the laser, and I'm wearing this archive Galliano and walking, crying, holding a prosthetic leg with the flowers coming out of the hip. So when I'm walking, it looks like a bouquet from the front, but then when I move to the side, you see the full leg, and then somehow in the light, it almost looks like flesh falling out of the side of the hip. And we just really, to be fair, we kind of just got off on making what we're into.
I was going to say, this is what I get from you. It's like every fun, fascinating thing in your life and in your head, you get to create now because your fans have always been there for you and they're so supportive. And there must have been a moment where you realized, holy, I get to be like me.
Yeah, and well, actually, with this album in particular and with this song and the video, I wanted to be the most me that I've ever been before. And I wanted to really show my diversity as a performer, that I'm able to be avant-garde and interesting without lots of makeup and wigs on, which is why the center of the video is me in a catsuit with no wig on, just a shapeless piece of clay.
You're very comfortable with your body, and you look fabulous, by the way,
Thank
in the
you.
video. Where did you get that bra-looking hand thing that you're wearing?
Oh,
'Cause at first it looks like somebody's holding your boobs,
Yeah.
but it's not.
Well, we had a couple different pieces on set, and we actually cut them up and made it there. We did that with a lot of the outfits, except for the couture pieces, which obviously we can't cut those because They won't send me them anymore.
Do you plan like things in advance as we're approaching Fashion Week in New York City? I mean, of all the people that must look forward to something like that, do you have these ideas in your head of what you want from outfits, or do you have people that you just really trust to bring something interesting?
Well, Brandon, who's my fashion director, he's incredible, and he knows what I like to see. He knows the lines that I like to see. It's a much more abstract approach. It's not so much about who I'm wearing or what I'm wearing, but more about the shape and the colors as they come together with the particular scene, with the lighting, what I'm trying to say in that particular lyric. So we actually did a lot of it on the set, and there's just a room full of thousands of clothes, and I walk around and go, get that, get that, get that, pick that up. And then we sit in the center of the room and we put everything on me. We take it off, we put on a wig, we try another wig. We look at makeup references until it's perfect. It's an editing process. And for me, I have many thoughts in my head. And I'm starting to grow as an artist, and I'm appreciating
It's so funny you would
more
say that
and
this
more,
far
less
in.
and less.
120 million albums in, I'm starting to grow as an artist.
Oh, you have not seen anything. I feel so at the beginning of my career. I don't feel that I've even begun. And to be fair, I feel that I'm just forming now as an artist, like much more fully formed.
What do you think is going to be the next inspiring step in your life?
Well, I don't know. Gosh, every minute is inspiring for me. I was inspired today getting in the car, leaving Good Morning America, and there was thousands of kids beating the car, and my mom and my dad were laughing and kind of screaming in fear as the car was shaking. And it just, their passion and their energy is infectious, and creating that when they're not around is very difficult. So whenever they're around me, I'm just lapping it up like a dog.
I know what you're talking about. It's that really creative moment. I get those at night. It'll be 1:30 in the morning, and I'm lying in bed, so we have to come to a morning show, and that's when I'm used to being creative, and I want to get up and like write a parody song or do something stupid that is my mere
I want to
talent.
get up. I have to write a parody
I
right
must
now.
immediately write
3:30 in the morning.
something to do with applause, but it will have to do with some other random pop culture topic.
That's funny.
Yeah, but that's what I know, that feeling of like that immediate inspiration and that energy
and you have
that comes to you.
and you need it, and that's what
Yeah.
applause is about. It's not that I live for the attention; it's that I live for your happiness as a result of something I've performed for you. When
Yeah.
you cheer for me, it means that I've given you that turn on. I've given you that inspirational moment where you get so excited that you have to clap your hands.
What are you hoping you inspire people to do as you go into, for instance, you're coming up into ARTPOP, this brand new album that, from what I understand, you were already striving for the second Born This Way was released. You were like, let's move on. Next one's ARTPOP. Here's what I want to do. What are you hoping to inspire in people from the album?
I really want my fans to trust in their own creative processes and really believe in themselves that they are enough. Because it's when you find that confidence as an artist that you're able to really stretch your wings and grow like a creepy swan.
Yeah.
And
Thank you for acknowledging
and
that.
art culture as something that is now being filtered into pop. With Warhol, it was the repetition of this imagery of putting the celebrity on the canvas.
Right.
And this is about putting the canvas in the celebrity.
It does. It seems that way with the album cover, is it the single cover probably with
Single
the
cover,
paint?
yes.
It's like you did. You kind of brought Warhol to out of you. It almost feels like, as opposed to putting you into it.
Yeah, I know when I said reverse Warholian expedition that everyone sort of rolled their, oh, there's Lady Gaga with her crazy ideas. But actually, we've thought a lot about it, and everything that we're doing is rooted in this idea that everything has come full circle now, and what we believe is that art culture is meant to control pop now, instead of pop culture controlling art.
Well, and you've done that not only through music, but now this thing is a bigger medium. It's going to be an app. And what are we going to get as we see the revealing of
Well, the
ARTPOP?
app will come out on November 11th.
Yep.
And it is a incredible mixed media engineering system where you can create your own art, you can create music, you can share it with people all over the world and chat with them, and meet other auras, both alike and the same.
Is this something that you designed, or did you find somebody you trusted, kind of is more in that app world or in the social media world?
Well, I designed it with my friends Max and Adam, who are in the tech house, and the ideas for the creativity behind it, they sort of just begin with us all sitting in a room and having a puff and talking for hours and hours and hours and geeking out over what we love about any app. What kind of app do you want to make? I don't know. What would be cool? Oh gosh, I wish that people could do this or make this or and 3D print this and have it sent home to them. You know, there was so many ideas that we had, and they're just brilliant guys that can bring the programming to
They can make those
fruition.
things happen for you.
Yeah, they make them happen. So I think a lot of it was me going, can you do this? Can you do this? And them going, well, I think we could do that, actually. I mean, it's kind of crazy, but yeah, Gaga, I think we could do that. And so it's a process, and I really do want the fans to know and see me now in the way that I truly am, which is that I'm not just a pop singer or just a musician or just a songwriter. I'm a very passionate, creative mind, and what I love to do is bring people together and empower them, empower their interests, and let them show what they create through me to the world.
Well, if you were going to give us a little secret, the second we download that app on November 11th, what do you kind of hope like the first thing that people do after they've listened to the music from the album is on the app?
Well,
How do we start to play?
Well, there's going to be many things you can play with. I don't want to give too much away, but it's an instant experience.
Okay.
When you start the app, you're going to be instantly catapulted into the world of art pop, and it's something that we've designed for you to take you on a sort of psychedelic intellectual roller coaster that leaves you in a very simple space. What's nice about the app is an 8-year-old could use it. And that's what
That means
we
somebody
really
can teach me
wanted
to use
do.
it.
Yes.
I have a chance. I'm really impressed with that. I really like the level that like just the esteem that you have in the world. First of all, I think it's amazing when you get to be creative and you get to do it in a way where you know people appreciate you and they catapult you further into your creativity. And then another thing that I know Lulu, Lala, and I really love is the opportunity we have on the radio to make a difference, to go out and follow up on causes that we really care about, help out the people that we see every day in New York City. After Sandy hit, we had opportunities to go out and meet people and then make a difference and just have fun. Like, they expect us to be fun. It's not like we had to be sad and wrapping people in blankets. It was like, hey, we can joke with people, we can get to know people, and we find out how to help. You get to do that in any way that you want with 50, 60 million people on social media having your back the whole time. And what is one of the things that you really are starting to follow through on, just a cause that you care about a ton? You have your organization, of course, but...
I really, really care about changing the experience with social media. And it's something my mom and I are really passionate about, because the internet has become a place where people can really cyberbully one another and send threats and abusive messages with sort of no face.
Sure.
With no accountability and no recourse. And what we really need is for these social media
just the heads,
platforms
yeah, the people that run it,
to help monitor it and help combat it, so that we can get into a safer space where it doesn't become so negative and so out of control. Because, to be fair, this is the space that pop culture is in right now. It's in a very negative space. It's in a very critical space for artists, for celebrities, and this transfers into social media. And my mom and I are making it our mission now to make sure that we can make a difference.
That's very cool. And you talking about your mom, you guys, your family has a restaurant up by me. I live on the Upper West Side, and so, I don't know, 4 blocks away, there's a restaurant. Do you get a chance to go eat there? Here's what I'm actually asking you. When I go there, what am I supposed to be ordering? Gelato, obviously.
Oh, at my dad's place?
Yeah.
Oh.
At
Well, the
Trattoria.
spaghetti and
Favorite
meatballs
dish.
are just amazing.
Okay.
And I love going there because, I love my father so much, and I'm so proud of him for the restaurant. And it's named after his sister, Joanne, who died many years ago. And when I go there, I just feel such a sense of my family. Although it is difficult at times, my family is in the line of my fire,
Sure.
And they're targets. And the truth is that we're not trying to, make a 5-star restaurant. My dad just wants to sell meatballs to the locals.
Yeah.
And
Well, I'm a local, and I like Italian food, so I'm in good shape.
Go get a meatball and a glass of wine or a beer or something. And I love my family.
Yeah. Well, I'm always looking for places to eat in the neighborhood, basically. What do you guys got?
The VMAs are coming up, and we're so excited. We've been giving tickets away, and it's going to be our first time going to the VMAs, and we're going to actually be in the pit. What can we expect? Because you're going to be there.
Yeah.
You're going to be on that stage.
Yeah.
what can you expect? Well, I will be the first performer. I'm opening the show, so I'm very excited about that. And I feel very honored that MTV asked me to open again, because it's my second time opening the VMAs. And the last time I came as a man, so I think they felt sort of slighted. They're like, can Lady Gaga open the show this
Can
year?
Joe stay back there?
But I will say that this is the hardest I've ever prepared for one of my VMA performances. And
Is it true you were preparing even while you were recovering from hip surgery? You were in the bed?
I was. Well, actually, the scenes from the video when I'm on my back dancing, it was meant to be evocative of me recovering, and also what I used to do in my apartment when I was 19. I used to I had a mattress on the floor, and the place was not even close to the size of the room we're sitting in right now. It was teeny tiny. But I haven't prepared for something in this way in a long time, and it's a very challenging, physically challenging performance, and we created it hopefully as something that
At any
will
point
never
will you be
forget.
off of the stage in the air?
I'm not going to tell you.
Okay, at any point will you change outfits before our eyes magically?
I don't know.
Like if we're in the pit, we're there, right there. Should we be aware of anything crawling towards us?
Yes.
Anything gonna be? Yes. Okay.
Animals?
Excited.
Humans?
Monsters.
Nice.
I'm very excited about the VMAs.
It's going to be fantastic. I'm so excited about it, and all the costumes and everything that we're making. I'm really excited.
Do you sometimes feel like you have to outdo yourself? Does that ever become pressure for you? You stay up at night thinking, what can I possibly do next?
I think that every second of every day. Actually, it's like a recurring creative theme in my mind. How can it be more interesting? How can it be better? How can it be more exciting and relevant? And
So how do you overcome that? Because I think that would be limiting to a lot of people. You would go, I just simply can't, and you'd wear yourself out.
well, because my creativity is not a well that runs dry. As long as I stay close to my fans, it's always there. And after the situation with my hip and everything, I had to really kind of sit down
Literally.
literally for 6 months, and I couldn't walk and I couldn't
How frustrating
dance.
was that?
I mean, for me, it was very difficult. I'm a performer, and I mean, quite literally, everybody would just literally sit next to me and hold me down, telling me not to get up, because I would put music on and get excited and try to dance, and you just can't. You have to recover. So it really gave me time, though, to sit with my creativity and mature.
Sure.
And think about what I've created before this moment and what I wanted to be the iconography in motion that people experience now, like looking at my whole career almost like a series of paintings. So in the video, it was meant that every frame is beautiful, that you can freeze it and put it on the wall. That was really the focus and aesthetic behind it.
Every moment is a poster. That's really cool. And forgive me on this one. I don't know what your background is with dance. And believe me, I've been keeping track
As you
of
said
you.
background, I was about to say I'm Italian.
I don't know if you're Italian. I know you love meatballs. That's all I know. No, with dance, I don't necessarily know your background. And I've been keeping track of Lady Gaga. The first time I saw you, I used to live in Chicago, and it was at Lollapalooza. And it was
I love Chicago.
just prior to a
I'm there a
huge
lot.
moment. I have heard you are there a lot, and there's a tailor there that lives there that likes when you stop by.
Oh, there is?
That's what I've heard, but I was asked not to speak about it.
Oh, there's a fire. There's a fire. Help
There's a
me.
Chicago fire. There
Help
is.
me,
We should
save
watch
me.
it. What was I? Oh, so that's like I very early on was aware of who Lady Gaga was, and I followed from there. And I remember great moments as I was watching. You're on giant platform shoes on So You Think You Can Dance, tossing them onto the stage, and Nigel's freaking out. But I don't know when you started dancing, and I think you're so great. And especially if you're watching this new Applause video, that's when I picked up on it. I thought the choreography is so cool, and she hits so well and hard.
Wearing those heels.
But was that a new challenge you brought into your career in the middle, or did you grow up with that?
I grew up studying ballet, jazz, theatrical dance, modern. I mean, I studied all different types, but it definitely was not my main focus or medium. Although I mean, it's kind of funny to say that because I did study for like 10 years, but I am more of a pianist and a songwriter and a singer. I worked on my dancing, but after my surgery, I just made it my mission to realign my body, to realign my technique.
And that's what it is. Your balance is so great, and I really can tell that you've got that. Some of my friends are great at dancing. I can't dance at all, but
Thank
I
you.
know what to watch for.
I appreciate that. I really for that video, Richie, my choreographer, it's not easy to keep up with him, and he's always trying to push the limit and create something that's not only fun to watch, but energetic and something that the fans can learn for themselves.
Yeah.
So creating something that's difficult and challenging that's also can be mirrored is what Richie's good at. He's a genius. So I just rehearsed my ass off, and I still am. I'm still rehearsing. I love
It worked. You did a great
rehearsal.
job. I mean, you're in the middle of a group of people, and you'd think, oh, she's surrounded because they're trying to make sure she looks it. My eyes are always on you, and I was watching you, and you're not just keeping up. You're the leader of that group. It's amazing.
Thank you. That's very, very sweet. Wow, I feel good today.
Yeah, you've been dancing.
What a
Well,
nice
Applause
night.
is the brand new song. You can pick up the single, obviously, although it came out a little early. Is that a nightmare, or is that kind of a fun little surprise
No,
when
it's
there's
a
that?
fucking nightmare.
Okay.
It worked out.
I'm sorry, but it is, and I was fully submerged in the bathtub as I was like getting phone calls from everybody that I know, telling me we have to go now, and I
So what do you do? You're the one that gives the
crying.
okay, and you say magically, yes, go.
Well, I mean, it's not really my okay. It's just if the record's leaking, you don't want someone else to put it out before you, and I'd rather put it out myself. And
Well, and your fans deserve that, and you're always there for them that way.
I'm happy to work for my success. I always like being the underdog because it keeps me hungry.
So then do you have to get right in the studio and make the video, or was that just a lucky circumstance? You had it planned?
Oh, we planned it.
Okay, good.
We were ready to go.
Well, this album comes out November 11th. You can get down to, I'm just kidding, that swooping. That was amazing, Nadine.
Swoop.
Get Applause right now. Go pick that up. And then November 11th, you can pick up ARTPOP, which has all sorts of new, not just music, but media and medium and entertainment.
Yeah, so on November 11th, you can just go to the App Store and download it for free. The app is free, and then you just purchase the music within the app.
That's so cool. You're the first person in history to do something like that. You're starting a
Well,
revolution in
no,
music. Yes,
not
you are.
really. Well,
At this
actually,
level, not Jay-Z.
Bjork did it first.
In the
and-
same way you're doing?
No, not in the same way, but
I'm sorry, I tried.
I just like
Yell at me.
I just like to, I like to give people credit where it's due, and she was the first, and she did a fantastic job. Although, we look at the apps that have come out before, and we
say, what's missing
we wrote
for
down
us?
what we liked about them, what we didn't like about them, and then I talked about what the intention was for me. What do I want this to be? And for me, it was I want my fans to be able to experience art and music with each other on a social level.
Yeah.
Through this app.
I'm just intrigued to see what it is. Thank you. I mean, I'm excited to see
excited
what
for
that
you to
means
see
and how
what
we're
it
going to
is,
use it in
too.
New York. All right. Well, Lady Gaga, thank you for stopping by today. Congratulations on Applause and the huge moment at Good Morning America that I will
you.
forever wish that I had been a part
I'm
of.
sorry.
It's okay. I watched it on
It's
TV.
okay, but you're here now.
It's almost the same, Robin Roberts. Anyway, check out Applause and buy and tweet and all that stuff. How do you end this? I don't know. I'm going to use my
Bye.
You almost smacked me.
Just end it. If I get snapped at again.